I'm Diaz, and I will be very happy to be with you this morning as the Master of Ceremonies. Let me share some very important security and safety information. We have three emergency doors in green. Please, if an alarm were to sound, go to the closest exit. Remember to follow the instructions of the support staff. Now, let me tell you what Tuesday is going to be like. We're going to start with the opening ceremony. Then we'll go on with the challenges of connectivity in the last mile for limited access communities, chaired by Lito Ibarra of a board and well-known opinion leader in El Salvador. Then we'll give the award for the outstanding performance, a very valuable an award for those that have made a significant cooperation to the development of the internet and the development of our community. Then cybersecurity in the cloud era, and then the technical panel and the role of LTS, and then we'll complete with LACNOG. I remind you that as all the sessions that will be here in the plenary session, we have simultaneous translation into Portuguese, English, and Spanish. Those participants following us remotely may be able to have access to translation clicking on the globe of the toolbar at the bottom of your screen. And those of you here may go and get your receivers. So let me give the floor to Ariel Wecher, President of LACNOG, and Leonardo Guzman, President of the Board of LACNIG. So Ariel. Hello. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. It's a great honor to welcome you to this event here in the heart of Central America. Those of you in person in El San Salvador, thank you. Thank you for coming, for having come beyond borders to build community. And to those of you who are participating from your networks, your offices, your homes throughout the region, you are also a core part of our meeting. Let me start by expressing our grateful thanks to El Salvador for opening the arms. And here, Lito Ibarra connected the first network decades ago, and today we have a lab, to connect rural schools to the creation of regulatory frameworks to attract technological investment. I also want to thank the wonderful staff of LACNIG, represented now by Alejandro Guzman, who makes the coordination of this event possible. Technology that we master, and especially what we're going to discuss this week, enables us to be close to each other regardless of the distances, and that's what we celebrate. Over 18 years ago, September the 12th in 2007, something marvelous started. A small number of visionaries, including Arturo Sirvin, Ricardo Patara, Nicolas Antoniello, and Cristiano Flaherty, sent an email to a recently created list. The message mentioned route aggregation. It was not glamorous, not commercial at all, simply network operators sharing real technical knowledge. That simple mailing list turned into LACNOG, and from its very humble beginnings, we built something that goes beyond the technical issues. It's a trust-based community. None of us is skilled enough to solve all the problems, so that is why we need this space where we can share not only our successes but our flaws and our configurations and our learnings, our most valuable learnings. In 2010, when we met face to face for the first time in Sao Paulo in person. We approved our bylaws, and we were no longer a mailing list, and we gave our first steps until we became an institution. In 2018, we signed our cooperation with LACNIC, which strengthened our community and made it possible for us to continue to grow. And now we are in 2022, we became a legal entity with headquarters in Uruguay. So now we are going to define, this week we're going to define issues that are very important. Security and routing cannot be left for later because there are lives at stake. Our participation in global standards, especially in IETF, is critical. The protocols that will define the internet in future years are being debated now, and we need Latin American voices in those conversations. We have the technical expertise and we have the unique perspective as a region, and we need to be in those rooms either physically and in person. The emerging technologies such as AI, automation of IPv6 are not in a distant future but an immediate present. The work that we do here in the technical meetings at the labs and in the corridors is by no means abstract. Each improvement of the internet means business that can operate seamlessly. Each kilometer of fiber implies that there are students that can study online and families that can communicate with their loved ones. Not only do you operate networks, you build the digital future of millions of people. These days, I invite you to participate actively in all the event. Please make difficult questions in the technical sessions. Share your experiences, even those that were not successful. Connect in the peering sessions and in each space for encounter. Remember that many solutions are born from the least expected conversations. LACNOG exists because we decide that knowledge is a public asset and that together we are all stronger. Let's build the internet that our region needs and deserves. So welcome to our LACNOG event. Thank you. Obrigado. Gracias. Thank you, Ariel. I'd like to invite Alejandro to give a Alejandro Guzman is going to address the audience. Dear Ariel, our colleagues of the board of LACNIC, representatives of sister organizations, sponsors, partners, and all those that are with us this week, both in person and remotely, I'd like to send my greetings from here in El Salvador and those that are remotely at LACNIC 44 and LACNOG 2025. This edition is very special because this is the first time that this event takes place in El Salvador. So, and this is part of a commitment to reach different communities whenever possible. So each country that we visit, each new city we visit is an opportunity for listening to part of the community and hear what they think and what they represent so that we can continue to build a stable and secure internet for all. So LACNIC has focused on doing much more than that and in strengthening a community that learns and collaborates. And in that collaboration, the voices of different people, of different participants, counts just the same. In times where technology innovation continues to grow so fast, human connection and communication continue are the drivers for the internet. Today we have 600 participants in person and more than 1,000 if we add those that are remotely. So that shows how collaboration continues to grow since the first steps of LACNIC. This event reflects that spirit of collaboration because there are many actors working together, and it's not a single meeting, but there are many events that are taking place, as we said earlier, LACNIC 44 and LACNIC 2025, but we also have side events of LACX and LACCICERT, first the JASC workshop that gathers security experts and technical people and even the legal people of different countries. And this shows that the more people, the more stakeholders are added to work together, that strengthens our community. Now, speaking of El Salvador has 46 partners of LACNIC. It's a group that reflects the diversity and the vitality of the local ecosystem, and that is why it's so important for us to be here this week. And it's also good because we have a coincidence. This year we are celebrating the 30th anniversary of the first direct connection of the internet in El Salvador. We'll celebrate that on December 14th. That the first was done at Entel, the first in. And Lito was there.
So, as we know, Lito today is known as the father of the internet in Salvador. So it's so interesting that precisely this week we're here today. In addition to collaborating with them, we're celebrating the 30th anniversary of internet connectivity in El Salvador. Now let us have a look at the different activities that we'll be having this week. We have the technical tutorials on secure routing, transition to IPv6 only networks, internet metrics, peering fundamentals, and interconnection fundamentals. Today we have a very important event, which is a Lifetime Achievement Award at 10:30. This is to recognize a very special person who has significantly contributed to the development of the internet in the region. We also have an ICP2 update panel, which is essential for the governance sustainability of the regional internet registries. This is something that we should all be most involved with, because this ultimately defines what the rules will be for the future as to how to build, how to manage, and what the conditions are for the different regional internet registry. We'll also have a debate on the last mile connectivity with a focus on those communities that still have access barriers. We have a debate on blocking as a tool to combat piracy, a very sensitive issue with technical and social implications. We'll also have internet operations, challenges, research, and training, a space for exchange between the technical and the academic communities. A session for local operators in El Salvador, dealing with topics on IPv6 deployment, routing security, and local interconnection. We have a section dedicated to the local community. We also have a panel on technical trends and the role of the IETF, looking forward to the future of standards innovation, and of course the traditional LACNOG presentations with a talk on cybersecurity in the era of the cloud and artificial intelligence. I'd also like to share with you a reflection. You've probably heard about this before, but once they asked two construction workers what they were doing, and one said, "I'm just placing bricks," and the other one said, "I'm building a skyscraper." So both were doing the same task, but they had a different vision of what they were doing. So this is something that we have to learn. Precisely, we have to remember, and Ariel referred to this. We have to recall that what we do has a direct impact on things that are much larger. If we improve and work intensively in what we do in the meetings, we'd have the development of IPv6 in the region at a different stage. If we hadn't had the conversations on IPv6 and how to develop in the region, if we hadn't had all the operators networking to see how to figure out solutions, we wouldn't have developed as we had, hadn't we had all the workshops and how to configure the ROAS and so on. There would be so much interconnection in the region. If we hadn't had all the conversation we had. And we go on, but whatever we do here has a direct impact on the development of the internet, and the development of the internet has a direct impact on the communities where we live. So whenever we do anything this week, let us think about the relevance this has. Whatever we do, each tutorial, each talk, each conversation we have, each negotiation has a direct impact on the internet and on the development of the region. So let us make the most of all the activities we have this week. That is why I encourage you to participate actively. In fact, we have an application which is called Conecta LACNIC, which is a tool designed to facilitate contact between participants. So let us use this tool. Let us try and achieve interaction throughout the week. I would finally like to extend my thanks to all the sponsors and collaborators without whose support this meeting would have been impossible, and also the local authorities and the local community who have done so much to help us with the hospitality and support. Thank you to all of you for your time, for traveling to the event, and those who are connecting remotely to be with us today. I hope you all enjoy this event, to make the most of its content, and by the end of the week to have things to take home and things you learned, as well as discovering the cultural, gastronomic and human wealth of El Salvador. So welcome to LACNIC 44 and LACNOG 2025. Thank you very much, Alejandro. Before we finish with the opening ceremony, we'd especially like to thank our sponsors who support us to have this event: Amazon Web Service, NIC BR, CGBR, IP Broker, Fortinet, GMT Telecom, IP4 by Hilco, DHD, Telsius, Ufinet, AM6, Netflix, Flex Optic, Liberty Networks, Network Service, Wire Telecom, Cable Color, DPN News. Thank you to all of you. We thus inaugurate LACNIC 44 LACNOG 2025. To continue with the agenda, we will now begin with the panel.